Right. So we had a customer over at NUX that wanted to create a resume recommendation API. So they wanted to provide a URL of a resume and return all of the companies in their database that have characteristics that match up with that resume. So I'll walk you through how this user built it and integrated it into their application. So first things first, they define their parameters. In this case, they're just providing a key when they call the API. And this is default value, just a resume that I exported from my LinkedIn. The first block here, we have the text extraction block. And this is a native NUX block that actually just pulls the URL, downloads the file, and extracts the text. Very simple. This next block is actually defining the structure that we want the GPT model to export as. So we see that we're using GPT 3.5, and we've got a bunch of temperature settings, system prompt, etc. And we're defining how we want the JSON to be outputted as. So in this case, it is an array of roles, in which case each role is an object that contains the name of the company, a string, the role title, also a string, and the years of experience, a number. So let's run through all of those now. And we see we've got the text, sending that text through this block, and now we got all of the roles in an array of object as well as their years of experience. So that's actually not enough for the next block. And the next block, what we want to do is actually just flatten it. We want to get an array of just the role titles, and we want to use those role titles to do a lookup into our collection of companies. And so we already ran that. We get just like a flattened array of strings: founder, advisor, vector specialist, etc. And so then finally, we take that array of strings and we send it to our MongoDB collection. And we have the option of using one of the pre-built embedding models, but since we're just using regular text lookup, full text search, we don't need to use any of that. So we send that array of strings, in this case called convert string. So we send that array of strings, blocks.convertString, as the query path in this MongoDB query. And then finally, we get the results of all of the companies whose role matches with the strings that we've provided here. So as you can see, we've got Cloud Solutions Architect. Makes sense. We've got a couple of Solutions Architect roles here. That's actually when I used to work at Mongo. And Software Engineer, etc. So it all really matches up. And we can confirm this when we look at our Mongo collection. We've got company, role, and description. And this is the collection that we've used, that we've integrated into the NUX workbook. So we're just calling this as a text search. And then finally, what we can do is actually take the API, so api.nux workbook, and then we got the workbook ID that we just pulled from the builder, and we can provide this as a URL parameter here. So we do parameters and then resume, which is that. We run it and we get all the responses. So the results of the API are really just an array of objects where each object is the result of that block. So in this case, the first block output is the text extraction. The second block is the GPT model JSON output. The third block is the Python array of strings. And the fourth block is the MongoDB collection lookup. And we can modify any of these blocks. We can mix and match them, drag them between others. It's really quite simple to construct these workbooks in NUX. And you can combine other blocks, other models, data, and code in your workbooks, and even use Markdown to kind of explain how everything is working. And it is standard Markdown explanation. So there you have it. It's the NUX workbook that is representing a resume recommendation API. Thanks so much. And if you'd like to build your own NUX workbooks, reach out. We'd be happy to build them for you. Thanks.